All right, Jim, let's get one or two more and then get the hell out of here. This is an example.
Why do you always say it like that? I'm going to start thinking you don't like me no more.
I like you. But, you know, sometimes we hear from the listeners, hey, I emailed my question. It didn't get on the air. Why are you ignoring me? Now, first of all, I want to point out we get thousands of emails. And, of course, we have Twitter and Facebook. We do our best. A lot of you also
some of them ain't really exciting now.
Well, some ask questions that have already been asked. I mean, could Jim talk about managing Yokozuna? That's a pretty broad question, but there are plenty of videos on that. Here's an example of one that I'm sure the person will be... I'm not even going to use their name. I'm a proud Tiffany fan, having just discovered her last year. I was born the same year as Jim, so I was unaware of her in the late 1980s. In reading up on her career, she was mocked cruelly and incessantly about not writing her hit songs. She had 2 number ones and 2 more top 10s. She was often compared unfavorably to Debbie Gibson, who did write, but didn't have nearly as strong a voice. In discussing the death of Roberta Flack, Jim talked about how the performer need not have written a song if they can't interpret it. I'm requesting for Jim to
I think they even phrased that wrong. I think what the point I was making was if they interpret it properly, they did not need to write it. But nevertheless,
I am requesting for Jim to cut a promo as if it was late 1987 and he is Tiffany's manager. And someone asks him why he doesn't write, why she doesn't write, excuse me, and doesn't that detract from her, especially compared to Debbie Gibson? To get a quick idea of just how amazing Tiffany is.
By the way, if anybody's wondering why sometimes we don't ask a lot of the viewer questions,
check out the first 30 seconds or so of her cover of Otis Redding's classic, These Arms of Mine. Thank you.
Good Lord.
So someone sent this in. They really wanted you,
I thought, like everybody else in a civilized world, when you opened with, I am a Tiffany fan, I thought you meant Tiffany Stratton.
So did I when I started reading it. And then, of course,
this gentleman, who I'm sure owns a stained raincoat, is talking about the maven of the shopping malls, the queen of the home shopping network, Tiffany, who... She launched her career in the 80s as a teen pop sensation by having her management book her to do concerts in shopping malls for little teeny tiny itty bitty bitty girls.
Smart idea.
And it worked.
It was brilliant, yeah.
That's where I got the idea to start booking all the top WWF talent at the sports card shows at the mall. See, we were following the Tiffany model. But, so the question is, did this person that asked this question, did he leave the address that we can report to some state authority? Or is this one of the overseas fans and we don't need to worry about it?
Well, again, I'm not going to say his name, and I almost hope he's joking with this email. But we get a lot of these, like, have Jim cut a promo on this person. Or can Jim tell us how he would book 1985 World Class? Like, just all sorts of
essay question there. Like, well, when I got the fan mail, some reprinted in the Midnight Express book, where the old woman wrote me and said, I used to think that my Uncle Dan down on Murray Avenue was the worst human being that ever walked the earth, but you got him beat. It means something to them.
Well, again, that was an example of some of your viewer mail that we get, and unfortunately we can't get to everyone's questions, but here's our final question here this week, Jim.
Do you want breakfast at Tiffany's? Yes, I believe I will lick on her leg.